Might give it a try next time. For everyone.
ship! Find the monster cell!
Fill your socks up!
Oh shit.
If you mainly play story-based games that are slower paced and rely on high graphics for you to have fun, turn on frame generation and you'll get much better FPS. But if you mainly play competitive games that are faster paced and rely on a highly responsive PC, don't turn on frame generation because it increases your input lag and your aim will be off. If you mainly play story-based games that are slower paced and rely on high graphics for you to have fun, turn on frame generation and you'll get much better FPS. But if you mainly play competitive...
Hey man, why does Phil get like 4 times my FPS with the same GPU?
What game is it and what card?
RTX 5080 and Indiana Jones, and it feels
Don't worry. How are you? Are you a good little boy? What are you doing? You're playing?
So Borderlands 4 runs like shit, and I'm going to teach you how to make it not run like shit. First thing you should do on Steam is go right-click on Borderlands 4, go to Properties, and then go to General, and put -no startup movies. Every time you load the game, you'll just skip that annoying Gearbox intro, and it helps out a lot there. You could also put the command no volumetric fog to see if that works. I don't see an option within the game to turn it off. To increase from disabled is off. You basic and enable it in this game. Going into your options, go into your basic and make sure your vertical sync is off. You will get more FPS. Field of view, both of them all the way up, of course. Advanced, keep your graphics preset off. You will get more FPS. Field of view, both of them all the way up, of course. Advanced, keep your graphics preset on whatever you want. And a quick TLDR before I get into this, I am on a 4080 Super and a Ryzen 9 processor, so mileage may vary, but this should work for everybody. Upscaling, I use TSR just because it's less performance intensive, and I hate how DLSS looks and how blurry it is, and I use the quality preset. No upscaling quality.
Practicing your vocals. Ow. So cute there, huh? Hi, adorable little baby.
You enjoy Cyberpunk? Rate the story so far.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Huh?
It's good. It's interesting.
Is the story good?
Yeah. It's interesting. Like I like the quests too. The missions.
But we do have scene capture quality at full resolution. Frame gen is off. If you want more frames, turn it on. Don't like how it looks. I don't like my AI frames. Make sure your low latency is on boost. Just so you have less input lag. Loading range, keep it on far as it is open world and it makes it a whole lot easier on yourself. Geometry detail, keep on medium. Texture quality, I would put this on low to medium. If your computer's on the lower end of the recommended specs, I just put it on high because I care about the textures a little bit more. Texture streaming speed, regardless of your platform, you should be putting this as high as possible. It's how quick the texture limits will load in quicker, so it's less pop up when you're playing the game. Filtering quality, put this as low as possible for more FPS or turn it off completely. I just have it hovering around a 4 for my personal opinion. Foliage density, turn this off if you really need the FPS because you really don't need to see all the little grass waving in the wind. It's really not that big of a deal. I put it on very low just so I could see some of it and be a little bit immersed. Volumetric fog low. Again, if you could turn this off, I would. Same with volumetric clouds, off or low. I wish you could turn it off. Shadow quality, keep on medium. I wouldn't recommend low because low, medium have similar performance and the game on low shadows just looks like shit. Directional shadow quality, this is another thing that's going to mess on your FPS. I would turn this low for most people. I just have it on medium because once again, I want the game to look a little bit good. Disable volumetric cloud shadows. That will cascade shadows from the clouds onto the floor and has a huge performance impact. Lighting quality, I keep on medium. Not many FPS differences from low to medium, but from medium to high, it was pretty significant. Reflections, low to medium, same deal, similar FPS, but going above medium does drop your FPS quite a bit. Shading quality, I only noticed a difference on low medium. Once again, post-processing, keep as high as possible just for your post-processing effects. It doesn't really change much. Motion blur amount, turn it off. Motion blur looks like shit. And that's really it. I have the copy paste for the launch options in the comments down below. And let's hope this game runs good. And if you don't have enough FPS from doing this, when you have a card that supports it, turn on the AI frames and yeah, hit the like button, subscribe. Love you guys. Enjoy Borderlands 4.
By the way, we've been drinking your
urine lately? Whatever happened? Do not dance to this next stop. Because I don't need everybody on gyros learning my survival skills. What's the point if everybody has the same command? By the way, whatever happened? Not dance if you are defended. Don't die. Because I don't need everybody on gyros learning my survival skills. What's the point if everybody has the same command? By the way, whatever happened? Not dance if you are defended. Stay with you. Don't die.
Thanks, Senor. Thanks, Senor.
What's up, I'm Troubleshoot. In this quick guide, I'll show you how to get the best performance out of Borderlands 4. Obviously, it's an Unreal Engine 5 game on release. The performance isn't the best, so without further ado, let's quickly get into it. This guide's not going to cover Windows optimization at all. Instead, you'll find links down below to get more performance from your system. That being said, the one thing you definitely should do with a new game's release is update your graphics card's drivers. So head across to Nvidia, Intel, or AMD's website and do so. Once you've done so, before you actually launch up the game, I would also recommend, inside of Steam or wherever you own it, simply right-click the game, choose Properties, and under General Launch Options, I'd highly recommend adding the launch options down below. This one is just -no startup movies to skip the intro whenever you boot up the game. That's it. Obviously, there are quite a few bugs and things like that that are going to be sorted out at some stage in the future, but for now at least, we can optimize for some better performance, as throughout the intro and general gameplay I've seen 40 to 50 FPS, with it only really seeing a big rise now to about 60. So that's not the best. Obviously at 1080p with a 4080, things could definitely be way better. So without further ado, let's begin. Pause your game, head across to options on the far left, and at the very top, visuals. On the basic tab, display mode should be set to full screen or windowed full screen. There shouldn't be too much of a difference here. Resolution should match your display all the time. If it's 4K, 2K, or 1080p, set it here to match. display stats, you can enable FPS or all, apply settings, which should show quite a bit more info in the top right of your screen. Obviously, I'm using RivetTuner to get a much better display, but of course, Steam has their built-in overlay, which you'll find a link for down below. It's actually really powerful. I'll leave this on all just for now. Limit frame rate should be set to off unless you're playing handheld or on battery and you'd like to conserve extra battery power. After optimizing, you can cap your FPS to 60 or something like that, and it should help create less heat, use less battery power, etc. VSync should definitely be turned off unless you're getting screen tearing, and finally, field of view and vehicle field of view are your preference. Set them as you see fit, even though they do technically affect performance. Then on the advanced tab at the very top, here we can get a couple of different graphics presets. I'll quickly show you the differences. Everything's loaded in about 75, 76, maybe 80 FPS. Moving it up to medium, there's a huge jump to 65 FPS, up to high 55, very high 43, and finally badass, which lays me at a solid 30 FPS. Again, at 1080p with a 4080. So this game is definitely very demanding, to say the least, and you'll obviously be playing on anything but the highest option usually, and recommend starting off at low and working your way up, which is what I'll be doing here. So from a base FPS of about 76, which is more than playable, under resolution scaling, TSR does look pretty okay, but preferably use DLSS or FSR. DLSS is obviously only available on NVIDIA GPUs. FSR can be used anywhere though. Full resolution means that you're applying anti-aliasing on top of a native resolution gameplay. So things should look extra crispy. Now moving from TSR to DLSS, I assume puts more workload on my GPU instead of the CPU or something along those lines, and we've already jumped up to 86 FPS, which is great. Upscaling quality, if we push it down to quality for example, we should see a big boost in performance, and we definitely do. We're now setting at 110, which is fantastic. If you were to drop this to balanced or even performance on most systems, at higher than 1080p that is, so 2K or 4K, you can see a massive improvement in performance with a minimal drop to quality, but at 1080p, I'd probably stick to quality, maybe balanced at worst. Obviously beyond a certain point, you're not 1080p, I'd probably stick to quality and see a massive improvement in performance with a minimal drop to quality, but at 1080p, I'd probably stick to quality, maybe balanced at worst. Obviously, beyond a certain point, you're not going to be getting too many extra FPS, but you will notice some weird visual artifacts. Spatial upscaling quality only seems to be available with TSR, but as I'm using DLSS, I'll skip over that. You'll need to play around with that to see what works on your system. Scene capture quality affects the quality of your map and inventory menus, and for the most part, full resolution here should be fine. Frame generation, I definitely recommend leaving off, even though it does give you some extra FPS. For example, from 110 to 170, you should feel a bit of input latency and things like that. If you're struggling to reach 60 FPS. That being said, if you're comfortably over, say, 80 to 100, you're going to feel much less input latency, but there's definitely a noticeable difference, and obviously things should feel really buttery smooth. For the most part though, I'd recommend frame generation turned off. If you have an NVIDIA GPU, NVIDIA Reflex low latency should definitely be set to on or on plus boost. Well, I guess it's just boost here. If you have a CPU limited system, otherwise on is more than fine. Then moving down here, there's a ton of different options, but for the most part, you can only really raise texture quality, I'd recommend, if you barely meet the minimum system requirements, which is a 2070, which are mostly, I would think, 8K graphics cards. If you got anything below that, low is probably all that you can do here. Even on 8K GPUs, medium, or maybe even high, should be fine to use, but anything with 12 or above gigs of VRAM, I'd recommend very high, just for a quick boost in environmental quality once everything loads in. This should result in a huge impact in how the game looks with basically no effect quality with 12 or above, even on 8 gig GPUs, medium or maybe even high, should be fine to use, but anything with 12 or above gigs of VRAM, I'd recommend very high, just for a quick boost in environmental quality once everything loads in.
Just gonna clean my hands. Together. Leon, you want to read some books? You're good at these. Wild.
Then this should result in a huge impact in how the game looks with basically no effect on performance. For example, 108 on very high all the way back down to low, we're still at pretty much the same FPS, but higher up is a free quality boost. Texture streaming speed, I assume more has to do with SSDs and hard drives, things like that, maybe stuttering for the most part. Leaving this all the way up should result in textures loading in faster, things like that, and overall a better experience. I think you only really need to lower this on systems where the game's installed on a hard drive, for example. Anisotropic filtering shouldn't have any effect on performance. Cranking this up, 106.
Abby sees a giraffe in the distance. Look at all the spots, she says. Rover watches a big rhino rumble by.
107, yeah, we're about the same, and textures should look quite a bit better.
Amazing animals. Elephants, giraffes, birds, and more. Can you imagine what it would be like to see such a Rover snaps a picture of a zebra as it zips past him. Big bird and bird spies some parrots perching in the trees. So these are called parrots. They're colorful birds. This is a zebra. This is Rover.
As for the rest of the options, loading range,
That's Bert. Ooh, there's a giraffe and a rhino. Giraffe, rhino. Giraffe. sound like a dinosaur. What is that? Why are you screeching at me? Oh, my nose. That's my nose. You're so playful. It says cool koala.
and recommend farm, geometry quality, medium, full.
Orange. 4 different colors of the rainbow. He's just a little cute.
Foliage density on a very low, volumetric fog and clouds, both low. Shadow quality is quite annoying when it's set down to the lowest option, as you can see up here, but if we raise it to medium, we shouldn't really see a performance impact, and directional shadow quality as well should result in a big improvement in how everything looks. It's way less shimmery, and this is way better, with basically no performance impact. Then lighting quality, low is fine, but medium shouldn't result in an FPS hit at all, at least on most systems. Reflection quality on low gives me 100 FPS, and medium drops me down to 95. If you're going to be raising the reflection quality, medium is as high as I would go. Here's low, for example, as anything above that is probably going to tank your FPS. For me personally, I'll be leaving it on low. Shading quality, I'll set to medium. Post-processing quality doesn't really affect performance. Very high is fine, and motion blur I leave off, but this is a preference.
Oh my goodness, what is that sound?
Where do you think you're
These order types just don't bleed right, you know? Meteor forever!
Get ready for a surprise!
Boundaries, folks! We did rocket surgery. See that? That's a little thing called marksmanship. Might give it a try next time.
up the rest of my babies! You see what they're doing to my herd? Zipping around up there when I'm not looking? I'm wise, there. I'm wise, you hear me?
I can hear you quite well, actually. Who is doing this scheming?
The man in metal. Flying outlaws who never seem to get shot down. They've been snatching up my herd one by one. Doing it in the next valley, too. Go on over there and stop them. You shouldn't have to wait long before they show up. Please bring my babies back to me.
Okay, found the Wildhorn herd. Whoa, the men in metal were real. Let's follow them and see where they're taking the herd. Nita, the ship. One more Ripper for the Reaper.
pendejos aquí en cages? Unacceptable. I will prove
Orden cortado.
Go cause some trouble.
This one thinks he's slick.
Come on, let's get this body sorted. Why am I catching more bullets with bullets? Even though this is all part of a broader plan. Still satisfying to see the little guy.
Taste that freedom.
Maybe the tech dog will do a better job.
And so the cold instruments of man have been subdued. Approach, human, so I might look upon the face of our champion.
Hey, did you just talk to me?
Does my eloquence surprise you, human? I wonder what other truths you have missed due to the comfort of assumption.
Ignorance is bliss. Have another assumption. The Order wanted to see how clever you were, no?
The Order. They saw my people as ignorant cattle to be hollowed and glutted with machinery. Yet once they understood the depth of our intellect, we became subjects of study.
You have your whole lives ahead of you. What will you do next?
I've pondered long on how to best provide for my brethren. Unfortunately, the callow life forms of this planet do not have the capacity to grasp the scope of our wisdom. To that end, I will retrieve my herd and find a verdant pasture elsewhere on Kairos, far from the trials of its people.
I have no doubt you will leave a lot of confused ranchers in your wake.
Your well wishes are appreciated. Go, knowing you have done my kind a great service.
You know, I could go back and tell that rancher her herd is smarter than most people on this planet. Nah, feels like that's above my pay grade.
So, what's the verdict?
Gorgeous.
Thanks to 2K for sponsoring this video. Borderlands 4 is available on September 12th for PC, Xbox Series X and S, and PlayStation 5. Vault Hunters, Borderlands 4 is here, and whether you're brand new to the franchise or jumping back in on the hunt for legendary loot, we're here to bring you up to speed. My name is Kodiak, this is Legacy Gaming, and this is our ultimate beginner's guide for Borderlands 4. Borderlands is defined by its Vault Hunters, and this time we've got 4 new characters to choose from. Our ultimate Vault Hunter guide goes into great detail about every character and their moveset, so for this beginner's guide, we're going to keep things high level. Rafa, the Exo Soldier, is an AWOL soldier on the run from his TDR employers. His body's been augmented with an advanced exosuit, and that's at the core of his 3 different action skills. Peacebreaker Cannons materializes on Rafa's shoulders and unleashes a hailstorm of bullets into unsuspecting enemies. Arc Knives forego the guns and transforms Rafa into a fast-moving melee menace as he slices and dices enemies. Finally, Apophis Lance turns Rafa's offhand into a cannon that allows him to fire out a piercing shock orb. Vex is not your typical siren. She's had a rough upbringing and had to fight for everything she's got. She wields supernatural phase energy, which manifests in 3 different action skills. First is Deadringer, which allows her to summon Reapers, which taunt enemies and deal melee damage, or Spectres, which are stationary and deal range damage. Phase Familiar allows Vex to summon Trouble, a companion that aids in combat and can be empowered to fit a variety of roles through the game's Augment system. Finally, there's Incarnate, which turns Vex into a one-woman stopping force, giving her increased movement speed and the ability to fire an Eldritch Blast from her offhand while still wielding a weapon. Amon the Forge Knight was raised in a vault monster worshipping cult, but after the vault was opened and everyone he knew was killed, he dedicated his life to hunting down as many vault beasts as possible. His first action skill is Scourge. When active, he lifts up a massive shield absorbing damage and converting it into Vengeance, which he can then use as damage, sending out a Forge Wave. Crucible is his second action skill. When used, Amon can throw out either a Frost Axe or a Flame Axe, dealing damage and priming enemies. Killing them causes an explosion dealing AoE damage. Finally, there's Onslaughter, which empowers Amon's gauntlets, allowing him to rapidly regenerate his shield while giving him the ability to quickly dash to enemies with a powerful rocket punch. The final Vault Hunter is Harlow the Gravitar, a former Malawan combat scientist with an insatiable need to understand how things work. She's a tech-first character that brings a number of powerful gadgets to the battlefield. Her first action skill is Chroma Accelerator, which fires out an unstable energy pocket, dealing damage to any enemies hit. When activated again, the pocket explodes, dealing massive damage and entangling enemies in a large AoE. 0 Point gives Harlow the ability to suspend enemies in stasis for a short period of time, and then slamming them into the ground, dealing AoE damage. Finally, there's Flux Generator, which deals damage and entangles enemies caught within its radius, while also granting allies inside a massive overshield and other benefits. To understand each of the Vault Hunters in Borderlands 4, we have to understand what happens as they level up. Each Vault Hunter has their own unique trait that more or less influences the playstyle of each character. In most cases, that trait is consistent regardless of your active skill, but in some cases, such as Amon's, that trait changes based on whatever active skill you have equipped. Beyond that, you have 3 distinctively different skill trees, and this is where things really start to open up and build crafting becomes possible. Each Vault Hunter has access to 3 different action skills, the abilities we talked about before, but you can only have one active at a time. If the trait is the foundation of a Vault Hunter's playstyle, then the active skill is almost like choosing a class. These take each respective Vault Hunter in 3 completely different directions and will influence what stats and weapons you'll want to be on the lookout for as you synergize all of the various elements in a build. Each skill tree has numerous passive nodes that you can invest in, and the beauty is that you aren't locked into what's in that respective active skill tree. If it makes sense for your build, you can allocate points into a few passives from your blue or green skill trees while still anchoring most of your build within the red skill tree. Now that's just an example. Bottom line, the system is flexible. Each Vault Hunter can also equip 1 augment and 1 capstone. Augments are special nodes within each skill tree that significantly change your playstyle. For instance, Rafa has an augment called Bullet Buddy Deluxe that allows his Peacebreaker Cannon skill to deal incendiary damage while simultaneously regenerating ammo for himself and his allies. While active, Rafa's shots also don't consume any ammo at the cost of draining his ability faster. By comparison, the other Tier 1 augment, Insta-Fort Battle System, adds ordnance damage to his Peacebreaker cannons, but also allows you to disconnect them from Rafa and turn them into a turret platform that occasionally hurls grenades at a target while copying Rafa's grenade if he has one equipped. These are just 2 of the 5 total augments within each skill tree, and as you can see, they push the Vault Hunter in specific directions that anchor a playstyle. Capstones further enhance your Vault Hunter, often transforming their action skill or trait. You can expect things like additional status effects, major damage buffs, or even complete reworks of components of a skill. This is the last piece to the build puzzle, and it's a substantial one as each skill tree has access to 3 capstones, all of which are drastically different from one another. The best part about all of this is that at any time and for 10% of your total cash, you can head to a respec station and completely reset your skill points and rebuild your character. The good news is you're not locked in until you fully commit to the build, giving you enough flexibility to mess around with your point distribution. The first respec station you'll encounter is at the Outbounders faction town called the Launchpad, but more open up as you explore Kairos.
My name's Anahit and I sold my Audi with Clutch.ca. When I found out about Clutch, the process seemed really easy.
One thing we think will really throw players for a loop is the new Seamless World format of Borderlands 4. After a quick tutorial mission, you are dropped into the massive Seamless World of Kairos. Sure, you have a main story quest that pops up, but almost immediately, you'll stumble into random points of interest, side quests, puzzles, random boss encounters, you name it. Depending on the kind of player that you are, you can find yourself halfway across the map with a full inventory of loot nowhere near your original quest location, realizing you need to hoof it all the way back. To be clear, we think this is a stellar move, and the new open world format really plays to the game's strengths. Our advice, follow the main story quest until you've gained access to your Digirunner, a vehicle you can summon at any time to help you rapidly traverse the world. By that point, you'll have been introduced to Echo 4, a robot companion that allows you to ping the world, helping you navigate seamlessly to any track location, while also mapping nearby checkpoints in case you need to revive. Echo 4 also plays a valuable role in taking control of order silos and safe houses, which act as additional fast travel locations on top of the various major hubs. Order silos are relatively easy to gain access to. All you need to do is activate the command console inside after you take out any enemies standing in your way. Once you do that, a massive tether extends into the sky, allowing you to quickly grapple up and utilize the game's new gliding mechanic introduced to our character's movement toolkit. On the other hand, safe houses require some light to sometimes medium exploration of a surrounding area in order to locate a data disk that allows Echo 4 to override the system. Once he does that, you'll have the ability to fast travel to this safe house, which also has its own contract board that features unique quests and rewards for that area. Questing in Borderlands 4 is also a bit different from other games in the series. Whether it's your main quest, side quest, or contracts, every time you complete a quest, you'll need to go into your inventory and click on a new rewards interface to claim the respective quest reward. Don't forget these are here, because these rewards are locked to or around the level you were at the time you completed them. The last thing you want is to miss out on a potential upgrade that could have made your playthrough more enjoyable simply because you forgot to claim it. One of the best features of Borderlands 4 is the ability to go into your missions tab and replay almost every main story mission in the game. This lets you earn the majority of the rewards again, and depending on how far along in the game you are and what the reward pool looks like, this can be a solid way to farm for specific gear. While we're talking about replaying missions, you should know that you can easily replay any boss fight in the game by interacting with the respective Moxie's Encore station. You'll need to pay to re-challenge these bosses at your current
I don't know if us Outbounders have to join this Crimson Resistance to get some help, but we're in. This better not be another pyramid scheme. Already got a whole closet full of supplements. Screw it. This is my legally binding verbal confirmation that we'll join the Crimson Resistance.
No recruits for Claptrap. Better rank and title, here I come.
shot at any distance. Think I could do with a little haste. A fight just for me? They shouldn't have.
Of the Timekeeper, planning, or even discussing planetary escape is now punishable by death. The time for mercy has passed.
Resistance folks really know how to fight. Glad we joined up. No! You're ruining everything!
Dead shot at any distance! Bringing out the big guns! Ain't it coming? Orden cortado! Eat me! Almost didn't see you there!
Escape is bad enough! No! You're making me look foolish in front of the Timekeeper! Will she who's laughing when I unleash my secret weapon? Then I'll turn you to dust!
secret weapon? Don't like the sound. That, I've worked way too hard on my physique to have it turn into goo. At least we're safe for now. Thanks to you. Come on down to the bunker. There's an access tunnel near the bridge. I'll make sure the door's unlocked.
Did you start?
Hello everyone, I'm going to quickly show you how to drop your weapons. If this video helps you, please like it, leave a silly comment for the algorithm, and don't subscribe to me. Alright, so dropping your weapons is actually quite complicated. There's a few ways we can do it. There's no drop button in your inventory. You think you'd be able to go into your inventory and just right click and drop something, but you don't have that option. So I'm going to give you two little solutions here. The first one is marking it for junk, and then anytime you are at an ammo dump, we can just press Q and we can sell it, and we just sold that weapon. Now that's probably what you should do most of the time, is just mark things for junk whenever you get them, and you just mark them right away, so when you see a vending machine you can quickly get rid of it. All right, so another thing you want to do is, let's say we just want to equip something and we just want to swap out one weapon. So I equip the weapon I want to get rid of, and then I found some new weapons, and this way we can actually hold we can hold E to equip. If we hold it, it will equip the weapon and it will drop the other one. Now I have space in my inventory, so it probably just put it right back in my inventory, but if I didn't have space in my inventory, it would just drop the gun. Now there's no option for this for controller for as far as I can see, but if you can also drop your weapon by pressing end, all right, end on your keyboard right beside the delete key, and that will just throw the gun. I don't know how to do that on controller. If anybody can figure out how to do that on controller, please leave it in the comments. If this video helped you, please like it. Leave it. Anybody can figure out how to do that on the key, and that will just throw end. All right, as far as I can see. But if you can also drop your weapon by pressing end, all right, end on your keyboard right beside the delete key, and that will just throw the gun. I don't know how to do that on controller. If anybody can figure out how to do that on controller, please leave it in the comments. If this video helped you, please like it. Leave a silly comment for that algorithm, and don't subscribe to me.
Every song the carolers sing, I hear the joy the season brings, and in this time our souls take flight in love's embrace tonight. I'm dreaming of Christmas night, with every candle's gentle glow. May your dreams be bright and your soul take flight in a love we'll always know. I hear the joy the season brings, and in this time our souls take flight in love's embrace tonight. I'm dreaming of Christmas night, with every candle's gentle glow. May your dreams be bright and your soul take flight in a love we'll always keeps us warm as snow starts to fall. Families together, the happiest of all. With hope for tomorrow, our hearts shining clear. It's Christmas and New Year, the best time of the year. Celebrate this time of the year. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Raise your glass, let the whole world hear. Celebrate this time of the year. Joy all around is the season we know. Smiles and embraces wherever we go. The countdown begins and the bells start to chime. Together we welcome the bright new year time. Celebrate this time of the year. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Sing it loud, let the whole world cheer. Celebrate this time of year. Sing it loud, let the whole world cheer. Celebrate this time. falling gently down. Candles glowing all around. Voices softly fill the air. Love and laughter everywhere. The tree is shining bright tonight. Memories dancing in the light. Home for the holidays, where hearts belong. Family together, where we're strong. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year too. Every wish I have is here with you. Fireplace keeps us warm inside. Children's faces full of light. Stories told from years gone by. Stars are sparkling in the sky. The joy of Christmas feels so near and leads us gently to the ear. Home for the holidays, where hearts belong. Family together, where we're strong. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year too. Every wish I have is here with you. Through every season, come what may, this love will never fade.